How's it going, guys? It is 76 degrees today. Feels like 80. Holy smokes. Wow. I decided to go outside on my break today. And it is beautiful. Check out this forest area. Holy smokes. But guys, I've just been thinking lately, and I've been trying to put something together to talk to you guys about. But I just have no time, man. I haven't made any time. You know, when you have a family, holy smokes, man. Especially me, that's my first time, you know, having a family. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a family before, but, you know, a child, 2 children, a woman with, you know, responsibilities. But, yeah, I've been trying to put something together for you guys to talk about. And I'm just going to wing it. Just going to wing it right now. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We've been getting a lot of information right now about these new wheels. Let's start with the Hero. So we have the Hero, then we'll go to the KS20, then we'll go to EX20S, the Master. Holy smokes, great wheels. So these wheels are amazing. They are. A lot of them push the envelopes in the respective areas. KS20 suspension, Master speed, torque, EX20S range, comfort. Holy smokes. And then the Hero, which was, as MadPack put it, shout out to MadPack, once hated, now loved. So what I'll say is that what's interesting is there's a lot of, there's just a lot going on. And I'm trying to think, has it changed? Has this always been the case where there's a lot going on with EUCs in terms of release? I think yes. There's always been stuff going on. It's just with every new phase of wheel, phase of design, it seems as if there's a lot going on, but it's always been that way. If you think about it, it's always been that way. With the Tesla, it was the shell. And during that time with the MSX and all that stuff, it was cutouts. It was the shell. It was, you know, there's so much stuff going on during that time. So it seems like nothing changed. And what's interesting is, since nothing changed, in a way you're thinking, what's going on? Why is nothing changing? It should change, especially with all these developments that's happened over the years and that they've hopefully, hopefully they should have addressed. And they didn't. But they do address certain things, though, we care about. For example, suspension, speed, torque. They seem to address these things, but one thing that they're not, I wouldn't say I would say Gotway, because Gotway is pretty much the only one until Sherman came along that dealt with speed and stuff like that, battery, you know. But now it seems like the Master, for example, seems to be a cookie. I don't know how you put it, man. It's one of those wheels that you absolutely desire. It's one of those wheels that you absolutely desire, but then you're like, wait a minute. It's not able to withstand crashes. But let's step back for a little bit, guys. Let's step back for a little bit. Truth of the matter is, Gotway wheels Gotway has never produced a wheel minus the, help me out, guys, minus the Nikola. Minus the Nikola. They've never really produced a wheel that you can crash safely and say, okay, you know, it's just going to be scratches. This can buff out. Most of their wheels have been pretty destructive on impact, if you want to put it like that. They've pretty been destructive on impact. So I can't really say much about that. But what I can say so far, starting with the Master, is that there's one comment I can't shake. And I pinned his comment in the community tab when I posted the Jimmy Chang's picture of the Master being completely destroyed. He said, why don't we just stop crashing cars? Oh my gosh. He said, why don't we just stop crashing our wheels? I said cars. Why don't we just stop crashing our wheels? This is unedited, guys. I'm just going to post it. And I'm thinking, that's not a bad idea. Because here's the thing. Any new person coming into the field, into this sector, they're not automatically going to jump into the Master. They're not going to jump into an EX20. They're not going to jump immediately into a KS20. And for the few that do, shout out to them, you know, but they should expect that they're going to crash their wheels. And if it doesn't hold up, that's on them. But most people that come up into this field, they're pretty much going to, you know, start off with much lesser wheels. And if they start off with those much lesser wheels, hopefully with time, they will, you know, learn what the limitations are, what their skills are, how far they can push themselves. And as a result, when they decide to, you know, go up a level, hopefully that will teach them, you know, don't do this, don't do that. This is what you should do, you know? So hopefully most people go through that progression of things, and then eventually they will stop crashing their wheels. But as it stands right now, I think that's a really good comment. Don't crash your wheels. Just stop crashing your wheels. And if you stop crashing the wheels, because let's think about it, not a single wheel. I think the only wheel right now that you can absolutely crash intentionally and expect it to be okay is the Sherman. You know, that's the only wheel right now that you can intentionally go ahead and ride at whatever speed and crash it and expect it to be okay. I would expect the Nikola would do that too, because another person mentioned that the Nikola has this design where it's round. It's a round design. So when it crashes, it doesn't really have so much stuff to, take the brunt of the impact. What happens is it rolls into the crash. So that round design that started out in the EUC world made sense. Now we have a lot of box design. We have a lot of very intricate and different designs. And these designs are indeed a problem when you think about crashing, because there are lots of hard points. There are a lot of points where, you know, upon impact, you get the opposite, you know, action, which causes destruction. So then you have, so that's what I want to say about the Master, is that, you know, that picture from Jimmy Chang looks terrible. And for 3,600 with the best battery, it's just, it makes you wonder, man, like, what are we getting? But when you step back, you're like, wait a minute. If I buy a Ferrari, okay, if I buy a Lamborghini, one of the most expensive cars out there, and I crash them, I don't say to the manufacturer, hey, why didn't you make it amazing? Well, then again, you can't really compare the two, because cars have four wheels and they don't just crash like that. They don't cut out. I don't know, man. Like, I think that every wheel that goes above a certain speed, maybe above 40 miles an hour, should absolutely have some type of crash bar. Hold on for a second. This truck is passing through. But I honestly think any wheel that goes above 40 miles an hour should have some type of crash bar. Obviously, let me shout out SpliceGuard. SpliceGuard is a guy that creates EUC rails for certain types of EUCs. So that's good. I attempted to create one, but that didn't go anywhere. But I think we need to ask them. I mean, think about it. We need to demand that, because if you really care about, I mean, come on, man. We're reaching at like 60 miles per hour. Holy smokes. 60 miles per hour, depending on your weight, we're pretty much there. And you can't expect that a wheel traveling at over 50 miles an hour is going to hold up. You know, it's just not going to happen. If it does, great. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. So with that Master comes bare. You know, it's just completely bare. At least have a rail in the front, something to protect it. Something. Anyway, that's what I want to say about the Master. Then you have the EX20S, which seems to be freaking amazing. It's a utilitarian wheel meant for long distances. It's built solid with all that metal around it. Holy smokes, Scotway took their time with that one. And then you have the Hero, which is like the child of that. I don't know. There's no other wheel to speak of besides the KS20 and the KS22. Now, what I'll say quick, because I gotta go, is that the KS22, it doesn't seem like there's much change. I mean, I watched Wrong Way's review twice, with the teardown and his final review regarding any updates that they may have made, and I really didn't see any major difference. I saw no major difference. It's possible that there's a firmware update, but he wasn't raving about the torque. He did say he felt a lot more confident to do certain things, but he didn't rave about the torque. He did make a few contradictions where he said the torque is better than that of an RS. I doubt that highly. But he did also contradict himself by saying that if you attempt to accelerate hard with the wheel at a high speed, he will not recommend that because it doesn't appear to have that power. So that's a contradiction in my opinion. But hey, let it go in the wild and let's see what happens to that wheel. I don't have any strong hopes for that wheel, in my opinion, for hard riders, performance riders. Basic normal riding, off-road riding, normal stuff, sure, why not? But yeah, that's how much could they do in a short period of time, you know? But that's it for now, guys. I'll talk about the rest later. But I just wanted to get that out because I don't want to plan too much and then not have it done. So either way, these are great wheels coming out, and I think we should just be patient and have some of the guys test the wheels and then go out there and buy. And don't crash the wheels, man. Let's stop crashing our wheels. Hashtag stop crashing your wheels, right? Anyway, peace out, guys.